Hey guys, welcome to week 12. This week we are in chapter 8, and so we have no simulation this week. So chapter 8 quiz. So you're going to read chapter 8, please, before you do the quiz. Chapter 8 quiz, and then you've got business plan part 3. So the part 3 of your business plan, it's about placement and what that means in the 4 P's of marketing, product, price, place, and promotion. We're talking about placement is what we're talking about. And so, big picture, are you putting the thing that you're selling where it needs to go for those that need to buy it? And I know that's kind of a generic way of saying that. If your target market typically never buys online for whatever reason, if they are just not in a target market that ever buys online for whatever reason, maybe you don't need to own an only online shop, which this kind of goes back to how important your target market is and knowing who they are. Are you making what you're selling accessible to them? I guess that's a better way to ask it. Are they able to find the thing that you're selling, either product or service, either physically or digitally, and are they able to find it easily, I guess? So, back in the day, before e-commerce and all of that, you would start a business and it would have to be in a location and there would have to be an address and all of that kind of stuff. And now with the digital world, it's a little bit different, but you still really have to know who your target market is. If you're opening a business and your goal is to do it via Instagram and TikTok shop, if your target market is in a demographic that is not on TikTok, that's not good business decisions. So first, keep in mind, we need to know who our target market is. Second, we need to make sure that we are putting our things wherever they need to be put for our target market to access them so that they can buy them. Where and how are you getting your product and service in front of your target market? Where and how? We're not talking about promoting it. We're talking about where you're selling it to them. And so how and where can they find you? And will that make sense to the target market in general of how they shop for things? Getting your business in front of them is definitely hard, but we need to first know enough about who they are to know where we need to put ourselves. So, in the same way that simply opening a storefront isn't always the answer, simply saying I have a Facebook page also is not the only answer. You also can't say, oh, I'm online and so I'm global. Not really. That doesn't mean that you couldn't sell to somebody in another country or that they couldn't find your website. But based on who your target market is, how are we making sure that the way we're selling our stuff gets in front of them? So again, not promotion in this time, but placement. And I've uploaded in the assignment, the directions are inside, but inside of that, I've put some questions to ask yourself. 1, are customers able to find the product or service easily, either physically or digitally? How convenient are you making it for a customer to buy what you're selling? Where do buyers look for your product or service? I'm going to step back for a second. How convenient are you making it for a customer to buy what you are selling? I'm going to use an example. Where I live, there is an ice cream shop very close to where I live, actually, and they do not take debit cards. That is not the end of the world. Being cash only, you do your thing, okay? But I almost never shop with them because I never have cash. And so I know that I drive past that one to the next one that down the street that does take debit cards. Now, that ice cream shop has a huge following, so I do shop with them a couple of times a year, but I have to make an effort to make sure that I have cash before going. So if I do have cash, then it's more of a, hey, I've got cash. You want to go to that place? Not a, ooh, I want to go to that place because I already know I can't go to that place if I never have cash. So keep in mind that kind of thing. How convenient are you making it for a customer to buy what you're selling? If they look in a store, what kind? Is it a specialist boutique? Is it a supermarket? Is it online? Is it direct? Is it via catalog? Is it in a Facebook group? Do you only do Facebook Lives? There's a blanket that I really like ordering that's super expensive, and the company does Facebook Lives, and the only way they put anything on sale is through a Facebook Live, and you have to catch it live. Now, they have thousands and thousands of followers, so there's more than just me trying to catch this blanket that I really like on sale. And they only do it via Facebook Live. First off, their target market primarily uses Facebook. That doesn't mean they don't also use other social medias, but who their target market is, which is women over the age of 35, most in their target market already have a Facebook page. So them using Facebook as their primary way to sell and using Facebook Lives, that's working for them. If you're doing the same thing for those around the age of, let's say, between 20 and 30, Facebook Live is not the way to do that. So you would do TikTok Shop or TikTok Lives or both, or Snapchat, or know who your target market is. That goes back to it. How do you access the right distribution channels? So if you're selling a service, if you're selling a product, how are you getting it from you to them? Is it shipping? Do they drop by and pick it up? There's a place that I order clothes from occasionally that's local, and they will ship if you're willing to pay for shipping. But when you order, you have the option to actually say, hey, I'll stop by and pick it up. And they have a warehouse here in town, and they put your name on a bag in their shipping, in their area, the pickup area. They have a whole room for just pickup, and you can just show up and say, hey, my name is, and they will let you walk in and grab your thing. And so knowing who your people are too, if you're very location specific and you have a huge following locally, something like that would be different but work. Do you need to use Salesforce, which is a program / digital platform for selling? Do you need to attend trade fairs? Do you need to do craft shows? Do you need to send samples before someone orders something? And there are plenty of businesses that have to send out a sample before a customer will order. And if you're a t-shirt boutique, this is not what I'm talking about, but there are other businesses that it is very normal to send out a sample first. Maybe it's flooring, maybe it's a business to business, and so I'm a wholesaler and want to send you a sample first. So and then the last question is, what do your competitors do? I'm not asking you to answer all of the questions. I'm asking you to ask yourself these questions and think about your answer in terms of placement and the assignment that you've been given. So also knowing who your competitors are and what they do is important too, because what do they do, and is it successful in terms of ensuring that the item or product or service gets in front of the target market? And so learn from them. So questions to ask yourself are in there. There's other directions and stuff. I tried to put as much information as possible in there. So if you have questions on it, you're more than welcome to absolutely shoot me an email. But so you got Chapter 8 quiz, business plan part 3, no simulation this week. All right. So if you need anything, holler, shoot me an email, and we'll talk soon. Have a great week.